This is art. I don't think so. Hello, internets. Damn, it's hotter than a Lebanese prostitute over here. Bangkok is the hottest city in the world. Right now it's nighttime and my room is significantly cooler than the rest of the guest house. And I'm still hot. By the way, meditating is hard. That's all I have to say about it. I mean, it's not hard. That's just how my mind is making it. But it does bring up an interesting question. How do you do something that you know is good for you, but you don't feel like doing? And I know that it feels good, too, which is strange. Somehow I haven't built up the associations yet. I think that's what it is. Because when you do something good, and you know that it's good, and it feels good, your brain puts together it feeling good with the activity, and you just want to do it. Because that's how associations work. Two things happen at the same time, they get associated. So, my challenge is to get myself more eager to meditate. I think not to see it as something I have to do. Although I do have to do it because it's amazing. Life without meditation is, well, it's just not the same. When you meditate, it clears your mind. You can think so much better. You have more available space, I think, in your brain to digest things. And life becomes more moment to moment. You become more in touch with what is happening as opposed to so obsessed with what will be or what has been. And those things can really ruin your assessment of reality. Because, in my experience, people tend to think of the future and the past in negative things. I think we all do that. Don't know why. Maybe we're raised that way. Who can say? But I know that my mind needs a hell of a lot of work. I don't know about yours. But I catch myself throughout the day going off on long tangents of things that I don't want to think about. I think about money and job and what people say to me or people have said to me months back that still stick in my brain. And there's no reason for it to. It wouldn't be in my brain if I didn't focus on it actively every day. But because it's a habit, even though it's a lot of work and even though it's really bad for me, I keep on doing it. So maybe that's the only way that meditation will become easy, is if I make it a habit. We all have habits. It's just a matter of how productive are they. I can only speak for myself and say that my own habits are not very productive. That's just the environment I think that I come from. And until we learn to see ourselves and become aware of ourselves on greater and greater levels, we will always be a product of our environment. It's only a matter of taking the realization that we are responsible. Because if we're not responsible, then someone else, something else is responsible. And that's being controlled by environmental stimuli. It allows us for a second to say, well, it's your fault. But what it also does is keep us in that chain. It holds us within a cage of helplessness. If someone else is to blame, then we can do nothing, because they have the power. They are the originator of that reality. And because they are the originator and not ourselves, only they can change it. To blame anything is to attribute power to it. And that's very counterintuitive, because in our mind we think, oh, I'm blaming them, now they're worse off. But in practical application, when you look at the results, when we blame something, we stop trying to change it. We say, that's them, that's their fault, it's not us. And so we lose. We lose because we don't take the power that we could have and make the changes that we can see. I think that the opportunity to blame comes from perceptiveness. And we take that perceptiveness and we just throw it away when we blame something. We're given the power of noticing, of becoming aware of the problem. And then we give it away by hoisting the problem off on someone else. It's very counterproductive. But if we take that power, the power of perception, and we use that perception to make ourselves aware of the problem, and then engineer within ourselves a measure of solution, then we can steadily, through repeating that process, begin to create better and better solutions and arrive at a better future, a better reality for ourselves. Don't accept anything less. That's the plight of the person who is determined by their environment. They settle. They have to. They have no power. They have no power to change, no power to elevate themselves. They're victims of their own habits. And the worst part is they don't see themselves as victims of themselves. They see themselves as victims of everything else, of other people, of other circumstances. Because they have noticed the problem, but misattributed the cause. They become impotent. We all do that. Like I said, I notice myself doing it throughout the day. And it's just a matter of being aware of it, breaking the pattern. In NLP, the way you break a pattern is you do something silly. You jump out of that mindset as fast as you can. You bounce up and down. I shake my head. I make weird noises. I hug strange people. That's a good one. That's a good one. Just do something crazy and weird. Something that will definitely pop your mind out of that space. And keep doing it. And then once you've popped yourself out of that space, fill that space with something you want to fill it. Something more productive. Something that suits your needs. You see, the things that we do, they may not be healthy. We may not like them. But they serve us. And this is hard to accept because we despise these behaviors within ourselves. And yet, we must look at them objectively in order to see them for what they are. And this means seeing what we gain. That may be hard to look at, but it is essential. Because by understanding what we gain, we can apply those to our new strategy. And if our new strategy accomplishes the same needs as the other one in a better fashion, then we will be that much more likely to stick with it. Find something new. Look at what you had that was old, your old habit. Find out what it meets within you, what it does for you. Write those down. Reflect on them. And then take your new habit that you want to adapt. And find out ways you can integrate the positive needs that your old habit fills. And use the new habit to fill them better. And then, once it's started filling them better, you can throw out that old need. You don't need it. You got something better that does the job and is healthier for you. Well, that's my insight, my meditation for today. As you can tell by my eyelids that are slowly moving down my eyes, I'm falling asleep. I'm so tired. I'm going to take a nap. A little 20-minute. Get back up late. Have fun, internets. Get your meditation on. Tell me about your story. I talk about this. I blab into this computer machine image stuff so that I can share my journey with you. I'm trying to be honest about the progression and the regression, especially the regression that I'm making. Because when you see all these success stories, all you hear is success. But success, for the sake of success, isn't realistic. That's not how it works. Success is built upon failure. And it is the failures, I believe, that we must learn to value. Because in our greatest failures lie our greatest lie the seeds of our greatest triumph. But we must take hold of them. We must appreciate them. And if we shuffle all our failures away without reflecting on them, without valuing them, then we throw away our greatest opportunities. The end. Now I'm going to sleep. Have fun. Tell me what you learned. If you learned anything from your meditation experiences, how did you get yourself to start meditating regularly? Throw me some tips. Maybe I can shoot you some. Have fun, Internet.